Hello, guys. I'm Esther Kemi, and welcome to Telling African Stories. I'm really excited, to be able to share moments like this with you. Hope you had an awesome weekend. We should never forget that, we're talking about African stories, and African stories are unique. It's a privilege, to be African in the first place, and to be able to tell our stories is something that it's a privilege, in every sense of the word, And so today, we'll be talking about one of the interesting things, about African stories, or the fact that we are telling African stories in Africa, and one of the things that comes to us quickly, are the challenges that we face, because probably if the challenges weren't there, we'll probably be doing more films and we'll be telling more of our stories, and so I would like to bring out, because it's obviously something that's affected me, and affected a lot of my own colleagues, in filmmaking, and obviously that is the budget. That is one of the challenges that we really get to face, and honestly, if you underestimate it, honestly, it will hurt you, so it's something that you need to think about wholesomely. You need to look at it in the most practical way possible, and you need to be sure that you really want to do it. Filmmaking is not for the fanciful. It's not about the fact that, oh yeah, I want to make a film. This is where you really get to count the cost. Know that, look, this is how much I can afford, and then you cut, according to how much you've got. Oh yeah, you can go for some possibilities. Yes, there's no problem with that, but you need to know that, yeah, this is how much it's going to cost me, and this is how I'm going to get that done, despite the fact that, it's a local African stories, and, most of these sets are kind of like available around, and you can go check for it and scout for it. Yes, which reminds me, in the next episode, we'll be talking about scouting, going around to find where you're going to shoot your film, and as much as possible, we need to know that, yes, I have funds for equipment, whether it's going to be rentals or you're going to do an outright purchase, or whatever logistics, for example, if you've got a friend that's going to give you cameras for free, you're going to have to run out some logistics on getting them. So whatever it is not completely free, in that sense. So you're talking about cameras, you're talking about sound equipment, you're talking about lights, and you're also talking about your crew. People are going, even if you're going to get people for free, obviously they have to eat, and so the logistics like that, so you have to think about, obviously, NEPA, the fact that, electricity needs to be taken care of, so all of that. Then you have to think about, apart from your cast, probably you're shooting more than one day, you're going to have to think about accommodation, many of these things, you have to think about lights wholesomely, because, whether or not you're going to shoot day, night, or interiors, exteriors, you're going to need lights in one way or the other. So you have to think about lights as well, in a very wholesome way. So all of these things cost. We haven't even talked about costs, and so, and if you want, A-listers or anything like that, it's even going to be more expensive, if you're going to be using friends and stuff like that, for your film, yeah, it'll be less. But irrespective, you still have to have a budget for it. So yeah, it may be a challenge. So you need to prepare yourself. To tell stories isn't free, it isn't cheap. It's obviously a sacrifice, that you have to make. But it's also essential that you have the passion for it. If it's burning in your heart, it's something that you can push through. It's something that you can do, and with minimal budget, if you're really smart and experienced with managing funds, you may be able to do a great job without spending so much, probably not as much as some other people would do, so, but we should think about it, when we want to do something, we need to count the cost, and once the cost is counted, every other thing takes place thereafter, or subsequently, as the case might be, but first and foremost, let's count the cost. Let's know that there are challenges. There are times that when you're making a film, you'll be like, wow, how did I get myself into this, because you just see that, the funds keep going, even the ones that, you have calculated at miscellaneous, and then it's exceeding what you have planned, so just get ready for things like that. There are a lot of challenges, there are a lot of things that won't happen as you planned, but whatever be the case, you can do it if you believe you can. It's really up to you. So let's keep telling African stories. It's something that it's a responsibility we have to carry, and especially because of the next generation. It's something that we have the capacity to do now. So I think we should just go ahead and do it. Thank you very much. See you in the next video.